Hey traders, John Howell here, your number one market trader. Today, bit of a market update across the board. Plus, we're looking at fear and greed index, also the consumer sentiment indicator. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so make sure you head on down to johnsfreetraining.com. Very first link in the description. I'm giving away a free complete sort of master trader bundle here. As you can see, the first thing I'm giving away is this is actually a free 60-minute training, walking you through my number one trading system that I trade every day when trading the markets. Then I'm also giving you a free trading course. This is actually 5 phases long, walk you through the mindset, the foundations, the chart reading strategies, so much more. And I'm also giving away a free coaching call as well too. So, but this free coaching call here, guys, I think I've got like 5 spots left for this one. So if you go over there right now, go to johnsfreetraining.com right now, link in the description, and you'll be able to get that coaching call as well too. So I think there's only 5 spots as of doing this recording for that free coaching call, because I only open up 20 at the start of the week. And then it is free, so make sure you head on down through there. So let's actually go through to the markets today. So what happened with the markets today? Pretty much a nothing day across the markets when it comes to this here. We had a very nice run up towards the the longer term moving average, and now we've had a bit of a pullback through here, and which is expected. So to me, looking at this here, there's a real high probability we're probably going to see a lot more downside to come when looking at these markets. So we can see now you see what happens here with I like to see how when the market goes up, and it just stays above the short. This is a 9 moving average, by the way, that I use. A 9 moving average just stays above it. And now we actually broke below it, right? Same through here. We stayed above it. When we break below it, we go for a run. So we may spend a bit of time going sideways, but we're probably going to spend a bit more time coming down towards, I would say, around the moving average part. But the big thing that we're looking at here when it comes to the S&P 500 is what is the big picture, is what is the big picture developing. And so if I bring up just a chart with the trend lines, look at this here. Look what's developing. This could indeed be a really thick, big triangle pattern. And the big picture here is that this could be really developing something. So right now we are getting the pullback, and that's what I called for, and I got that right. But right now we're probably going to get a bit more of a pullback. But what happens after that is going to be questionable, right? We have to really watch what the market gives us, because as we had a move up, we had a move down. We're probably going to get something like this coming out of this here. We're probably going to get more of a pullback out of this here. Because there's not really that much fear. There's actually not that much fear in the marketplace right now. If I bring up the fear and greed sentiment indicator, look at this here. So we were down. If I go to this point through here, we can see that we're at neutral right now. So we're not really fearful. We're not really greedy at all. But if we come down the bottom here, we can see that we were very, very, very very fearful, and now we've rallied up towards where we're actually towards the extreme greed level, right? So people started to get pretty greedy through here. And as you know, right, it was actually through this point through here where I started telling people, they're going to suck you in before they drop it on your ass. And that's exactly what happened, right? And so you can see back here, this one got here to, what was that, a reading around 55. And again, it's around the neutral period. We're not really greed through there, right? Greed is, the last few greed periods have been around that 75. If we do get up to 100, then that's when you know through there, right? But as you can see, we got down to the extreme greed for a while. And then now we're actually rallying. Now we're actually pretty neutral. Extreme fearful. But now we're actually rallying over time. So we are through here right now. As you can see, there's not really no real fear happening with that. If there's anything I can see through here, so market breadth, S&P, and it's 120 moving average. We've got the stock price index, stock breadth, put and call ratio. Options are contracts that give the investors the right to buy and sell. Indexes, I'm trying to see. Put options are the options to sell. Yes. It's usually assigned a ratio. A ratio above 1 is considered bearish. Okay. So yeah. So as you can see, it's considered bearish. But there's actually fear, but it's not extreme fear happening there. Looking at the volatility, yeah, not much happening there. Safe havens. Okay. So we've got a bit of a greed with the safe havens there. and then the junk bonds. Okay, cool. So we've done that through there. And the big thing that you can see with the like, it's like, what's going to happen here? And the reason why I'm saying that is like, what I've been talking about recently is a pullback in the markets, right? So we are getting this pullback here. As the market was rolling up, I'm like, don't get sucked in. Now we're dropping. We're probably going to get a bit more of a pullback through here. But the question mark happens, what happens through there? What happens through here? Do we just continue breaking to the downside? Or does the market start to hold and start to rally back up through here somewhere? Because if the market does that, it doesn't matter what we think or what we hope for. If the market does do something like this, then guess what? It's game over for the bears, right? The bear market is over and the bull trend has started. Now, I'm not saying we are going to get that. Okay, we need to watch what the market. But if we do get something like that, then we're probably going to go for a bit of a move to the upside. And I know that makes no sense right now whatsoever in the marketplace, but that's what's probably likely to happen. If we do get that pattern. But also looking at this consumer sentiment indicator, you can see we're at these low levels through here, and every time we have gotten down the bottom here, we have been very close. Not exactly right, but very close to a bottom. Now, this here, right? This here goes back decades. So this is probably like on a monthly basis, right? So it's not like today or this week. It's probably going to take maybe the next couple of weeks, maybe a bit longer. If this is going to find a bit of a bottom like it did back here, you can see the consumer indicator, right? That bottom, right? And so if this is going to be a bottom, it's going to take a bit of time. It's not going to be like, oh my goodness, it's going to find a bottom. The market's going to find a bottom. And it's going to rally. It's like we can still get a bit more downside to come, right? It could filter through over the next. It's probably going to filter through over the next maybe month or two, right? As we're developing, obviously through this indicator through here, but also as we're squeezing up into this triangle pattern. So we're still probably developing into this through here, but if we do get that breakout on the stock market, then that's going to be pretty big. If we go have a look at gold today, now the really interesting thing that I'm seeing with gold right now is that we overall have a bit of a strong trend on the downside. So we never want to fight the trend, okay? But we are now. We've got the pullback with gold, and I got that right as well too. I told you guys not to get involved with gold, not just yet. We are getting to a point right now. It's like, where are we going with this? Because we've now come down almost down to a level where we have two strong support levels in place. What's going to happen here is going to tell us everything. Okay, so if I zoom my charts out, through here. And if I do that, look where we're at. Okay, so we're at this low level through here, low level through here, low level through here, low level through here, and now we've got this long-term major support level through there. And then we also can see, obviously, all the support levels through there as well. And we also can see the support level around that 1700 level. Okay, so right now, as we see that the market has rallied up and now we're rallying back down. What is going to happen here with gold? Do we continue to break new lows with gold? Do we continue to do something like this and just break new lows, right? Are we likely to continue this trend? So, and obviously the trend is your friend until the end, and the end hasn't happened yet. So that's what we need to stick with. So looking at gold is that if I'm looking at this point through here, traders, is that if indeed for some reason this trend has come to an end and we've got this sort of double whammy of a support level through here, if indeed this does hold, and we start to see a rally back out of this level, and we start to see something like this, something like that, guess what? The bear market in gold is over, which was here, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. The bear market is over, and the bull market is now starting once again. Why? Because we will have a low, a higher low, and then we'll be breaking past these highs. If we do get something like this over the next, say, week or next couple of weeks, okay? If we do get something like this, then that's what's going to really be big for the gold market. If I go and have a look at the silver market as well too, you can see the silver market's not as it's actually quite it's almost down now near a double bottom. So the silver market has been much more bearish than any other thing through there. The thing about the silver market is that we're right at this level here of support. So that's that major level of support back in the past as well. If I bring up my weekly charts, you can see on my weekly charts, you can see this major level support and major level support through here. And so now we can see here of what's going on through here as well too, right? We can see all these major levels of support through there. So that's what we're looking at through there. And we can see we had a movement up and then a movement back down. And so silver's not really giving us a much more clearer signal, where gold still could be giving us a very strong level of support if it does hold here. Looking at that. Moving over now through to the to the mining sector, and GDX is continue to be weak through here. I don't expect, even if we do get a bit of a downward move through, I don't expect I don't expect a significant move on the downside, right? If we do get something like that, I actually expect it to be a bit of an end of trend type of move. What I mean by that is that if the market comes back down and we come back down, if we do get something like that, it may go down a little bit, but then it's probably going to head back up, and then we're probably going to start to see a movement from there. So that's what I'm seeing through there. And the reason why I'm saying that is if we look at our weekly charts, you can see how with the weekly charts, the market never just goes vertical, right? The market never just goes vertical and doesn't have a pullback, right? We do get pullbacks. Like we go vertical, we get pullback. We go vertical, and so the market needs time. So as you can see, look what's happened here. We had a very strong movement down. Now we've just done this here. So if we do get a bit of a movement on the downside, it's probably going to be very short-lived before we get something like that. Now, what happens here could be just a bit of a trend continuation. But on the short-term movement, on looking at gold, is that we've had a very big move down, and the market goes through trend, right? Does that? L goes down, then goes back up. Okay, so we're looking at the weekly charts there. We've had a very strong move down. Now, if we go back to the daily charts, we can have a bit closer look. We'll probably say, okay, squeezing this chart up here, we can see how it's been pretty strong on the downside. And so once again, if we do break below that level through there, there is a bunch of support levels through here as well too. So that level through there. So even if we do get a bit of a breakdown on the gold mining stocks, I don't see that actually being too much of a big of a deal. When it comes to the mining sector. Looking at now through to, let's actually bring on Bitcoin, looking on the trading view. Someone recently said, John, I like the trading view better than other crap software. Well, that's your opinion, right? For me personally, I love using, this is the TC2000 platform I use. I use this because it allows me to run my scans, right? I run scans across the stock market, and that's what allows me to trade literally half an hour per day. To find those really good trades. And like today, that's exactly what I did. I traded for half an hour, maybe a bit of an hour when I was just looking around things. But this allows me to really scan the markets quite well when it comes to that there. Again, when you go, that very first thing in the description, on that training, the very first training you get, I teach you about the scanning and how I scan the markets to find the trades. But looking at Bitcoin now, we're looking at the daily charts, and we had this big drop down, and now we're just going sideways through here. Okay, so let me take off the 52 moving average because we don't need that. We can see we've got the short-term moving average pointing down, so we've got moving average pointing down. If we go down to the 4-hour charts, okay, and we go down to the hourly charts, we can see what's happening through here, right? We're very, very, very weak, especially the 4-hour charts. Look at the 4-hour charts through here. So looking at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin is looking really, really, really weak. We've had a very strong move down. If for some reason, if Bitcoin continues to go sideways, this moving average is probably likely to continue down through here like this, okay? And this is a 4-hour chart. If Bitcoin continues to do this, and then we get a breakout bar, guess where it's going? Down the bottom here. It's probably going to hit 18,000, 17,000, and then it's probably going to continue down from there. We've had this massive, this is an overall big pullback here on the daily charts, and now we're starting. So this is, if we do get something like this, it's probably going to continue down. And once again, once we do continue down, because we've had this very strong pullback through here, let me take that off the screen there. We're probably going to break this level of support, and then the next level of support, looking at the big picture here, is probably down there around that 10,000 level. And once again, we are getting a very strong, let's bring on the, okay, yeah, so we are getting a very strong, let's take off the 52 and that there. So we are getting a very strong, I like to use the 20 moving average, just a 20 simple moving average on my weekly charts. So you can see what's happening here. We're breaking down through there. So going back to the daily charts now, and you can see how that we've had this sort of sideways movement through here. So once we do start to we've already started the breakout. But as you can see, if I squeeze my chart up a bit more, you can see this is all Bitcoin does, right? It's just really, really, really simple. It has a very nice move down, then goes for a bit of a pullback. Nice move down, bit of a pullback, nice move down, bit of a pullback. We're probably going to go through a nice move down. And then this is probably going to be the capitulation phase. We've had 1, 2, 3 stair steps. This is probably going to be a capitulation phase where it really capitulates. And there's probably going to be a lot of big stuff that comes out in the marketplace. And it's going to be a big washing away effect when looking at that through there. So I hope that helps you out today, traders. Make sure you head on down to johnsfreetraining.com. Again, on that free training, the very first, as soon as you put your email address when you go there, you are going to get access to, again, this is a 60-minute training walking you through my number one trading strategy. I trade every single day. So I trade across all markets. It's Forex market, futures market, crypto market, so on and so forth, and how I scan the markets trade. Plus, I'm also giving you a free trading course. You're going to get the biggest mistakes. The biggest mistakes you're making right now. So if you're losing a lot of money, foundation is, or the phase number 1 is going to be for you. You got chart reading strategies. That normally sells for $495, but I'm giving that away for free. And then also as on top of this, I'm actually recently giving away a bit of a bonus coaching call as well too. So I gave away 20 coaching calls at the start of the week. 15 have been taken up as I'm doing this recording. I don't know if I go check my stats right now, maybe there's going to be less. But 15's been taken up, but there's only 5 spots left to get that free coaching call for me to build your own custom trading plan. And on that coaching call, guys, there's a few things that I do. I find out where you are, where you want to go, what mistakes you're making, what sort of system you're trading, how's things going, and then I start to really figure out what's going on with you, and what mistakes you're making. And then I start to really devise a bit of a plan for you to help you start to move forward. So go to johnsfreetraining.com right now, guys, or there should be very first thing in the description, and you'll be able to see that. Talk to you soon, guys.